everybody and happy Tuesday. So we're on Sew In Tuesday and I've got my square here. I've sort of just put what I want on there with some pins at the moment. So I was wanting to use some of my favourite little bits that I've been hoarding. So this was a lovely cardigan of mine, so it's got a bit of lace with this lovely trim on it. I've already done this piece to go on that's got crosses because we're cross stitching yo-yos. I've got this yo-yo. This is some really old antique lace that was on a tablecloth that I want to put in. And so I've just cut out another couple of rounds for, as we call them, Suffolk puffs in this country. And yeah, I just drew round the coffee cup. That's all. I haven't got a template or anything. I've got a big circle for my Sizzix, but it's a big one for doing quilting. Big circles for a quilt. Okay, so I'm going to start pulling it now. I'll show you another one anyway, if by any chance there's somebody here that doesn't know them. I'll try and keep that knot thread inside where we can't see it. So I'll just keep pulling it and keep moving the gathers round. I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect at all, but if you just utch your gathers round a little bit, it just you know, just looks a bit tidier. Like little chef's hats, aren't they? Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to go down, get inside there, not inside there. Now, what I usually do, I mean, if you're just making them and you put them in a little box or something for when you've got a project that you want one, then obviously I just finish it off at the back. But if I'm doing it for anything in particular like this, I tend to not cast off at the back and attach it. Now I'm not sure where I want one there. So what I tend to do is attach it through the back. Attach it through the back and back up again. And you see, your stitches aren't noticeable in the middle here. Okay, now that'll do for now. It's just secure enough. Okay, so I'll just finish that off. Okay. Right then, so we'll just do the next, and then obviously you can fiddle and play with it a bit. I'll move this pin over a little bit. I'm not sure where the next one's going. Just put that there. This was a really thick piece. Now you can do it, some people like to turn the edges in so you've got a really neat finish, but I'm not that particularly bothered, because usually I will put something in the middle or sew some French knots or something, or I quite like the raggedy look. So for me, you have I put a knot in that yet? No, we haven't. It'll come out, won't it? I tend to start coming through from the back, and I always like to use thin thread. So this is some silk thread that I use actually for attaching my beads if I'm doing beading, and it's sort of a very unobtrusive type of thread that it's, unless you want to use a thread and make it part of your work, but if you don't, then I find this is I mean, it's double layer, but it doesn't have to be. I find it quite a natural unobtrusive thread. Okay, so we're just going to go around the edge. Because it's just a matter of stitching around the edge and then gathering, really. And this that I've got here is some vintage cotton that I tea-dyed. Well, David tea-dyed, because he really enjoys doing that. He's as you know, those of you that's bought his avocado papers, he does lovely dyeing of stuff. So now we're retired, and the fact that you know, this year we can't do anything but do crafts and, you know, potter about at home, really. You watch when we are allowed to go out. I think we'll all be a bit nervous. I think it's going to take a while, you know, for us to feel comfortable to go in, going back to being here, there and everywhere like we used to be. Okay, so what have I done there? Get round to the last one and then it goes funny. It's caught on a little thread that's on the edge, I think. There we go. I snapped it. Okay, so we are just, and what I tend to do, I tend to put a finger or a thumb in it and just slowly gather it up. So just pull your threads, pull. There we go. And just sort of neaten it up a bit, pull your pleats out. There we go. So is the last one. It's sort of that, yeah, it's, you've got to sometimes just fiddle with it a little bit to make it tuck in neatly, because it's your last. I'm going to chuck that in there. That's it. There we go. So I'm back through the middle. And if something is misbehaving a bit, you know, say if you say, oh, that's not, I want that over there a little bit more, you know, you can do that. But I'm happy enough with that. Okay, then let's see where we're going to put it. I'm quite oh, do I want it up here? No. Do I want it there and a bit of a gap? Or do I want it there? Oh, do you know, I'm usually quite quick at making my decisions, but I think I quite like that there. I think I quite like that there. So we're going to do it there. Okay, let me move that pin a little bit onto there. So now, if for example you wanted it to be really puffy in the middle, so you've got great big stalks in the middle, then you don't sew so close to the edge of the circle. You sew much further in, and you will get these then sticking up like tulip stems, and that can give you a different effect. So I think really it depends on what effect you're wanting. There we go. There we go, go. So I'm just going to put that on there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that composition. Now what I'm actually going to do, now I've got my thread and I've got my others in place, I'm going to go across and I'm going to secure this one in place. And then we can start doing a bit more fancy stitch, can't we? Oops, where's it gone? So, hope you're all okay. Seems such a long time since yesterday since we had a good old natter, doesn't it? It's these days and nights are going slow. Generally speaking, you know, we just get on with it, and we think, right, well, this is how we've got to live for now, and there's no choice. And I suppose really, having been a nurse for 40 years, I accept the science, I accept what, you know, what's going on, and you have to. I not want to talk about it, the convids all the time, because you come here to get away from it. But you know, there's days where it really gets me down. You get up in the morning and say, oh, what's on the itinerary for today? And I love crafting, and I spend many hours crafting, and I love reading, spend many hours reading, and, you know, we take Nelson out. We can't walk. Scarborough is quite hilly. It is quite steep, and a lot of people come retire to Scarborough because it is a beautiful place, you know, a beautiful sea, and there's some lovely scenery and what have you. But goodness me, it's not flat. It's very steep, very hilly, uphill and down dale. And well, I mean, when we first moved here 11 years ago, yeah, we were uphill and down dale with the best of them. But unfortunately, David can only walk a small way on the flat now, since he's had this funny heart thing. So it's not the most ideal terrain now. And of course we miss, you know, it's hard, isn't it? We miss the kids. We miss the kids. Well, they're not the kids to us, but I mean, youngest Joe, our Joe he's 23, so he's my baby. And then my next one up is my stepson Owen, so David's youngest. He's 26. And then Adam, my eldest, is 28. And then David's eldest, Jason, who has the two little ones, Lily Rose and Freddie, he is, I can't remember if he's 31 or 32 now. So they're not kids, are they? But they are to us. Right, so that's that done. I'm quite happy with that. We can do some posh sewing now, as it was, posh sewing. More decorative sewing. Now then, I've got these out because I've got a little bit left of these, and it is pretty. It really, I love this. This is a lovely, like a teal perlé. Let's see how this is. Often this is more of it's quite a thick perlé, so it's often, I use it for couching, usually couch it down, but I'm going to see if we can sew with it. I better take my glasses off again because I can't see close up. I did try varifocals, you know, and oh, I didn't get on with those at all. trying to look in the right bit. Ouch. I felt that stabbed my finger. Let's have a look. There we go. Have I caught it all? Yeah. The only trouble is sometimes with this really thick stuff, it comes unravelled, but we will have a go with it. There we go. So it's a dull day, as you could guess. It's so grey. That's the thing with the UK. When it's a dull day, everything's grey. And, you know, you always feel a lot better, don't you, when you've got a bit of... Ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. A bit of sunshine. I actually think I'm going to use it for something different. Oh, don't think it's going to work, you know. Oh, crikey, that was stiff. Doesn't help that it's all... Can you see how it's all gone? When it's been wrapped round, it's all stringy, bent. It's a gorgeous colour though, isn't it? It's one of my favourites is teal. Oh, it's working. Yeah, so what I think as well we'll do, we might show you a few photos added to the December dailies of Scarborough, the area where we live, and also Whitby. I'm sure most people will have heard of Whitby because of Dracula and Bram Stoker. And actually Bram Stoker spent a time in Whitby. It's about 30 miles away from us north, up the coast. And he spent some time in Whitby to get his inspiration for writing Dracula. And it was very... it's very atmospheric is Whitby, the Abbey especially. The Abbey high up, it's high up on the hillside, sort of overlooking the town. And quite often we have the, I'm trying to think of the boat now. Not the Mayflower. Endeavour is often the rear. I've been round it. It's amazing to go round. Endeavour, the real boat, and it makes you realise very not very high inside. It does make you realise how people were a lot shorter in those days, because the ceilings are very low. You know, I'm 5'4", so I'm not tall, and it was, you know, my head was nearly touching. And I went with my mum. We took the boys when they were younger, and my mum was tall. I think she was about 5'7", my mum. So she was stooping down quite a lot. But oh, what a fascinating boat to look round with all the history and everything. So often that lives in the harbour, and you can go and have a look round it. So there's a lot of history. There's a lot of history around Whitby. So we do have some photos of that. And then every year they do have, in October, they do have Goth Fest, which is, you know, all the goths arrive in all their outfits, and some of them are driving the hearses, and some of the costumes are just exquisite because they are very expensive, some of them. You know, a lot of these goths are middle-aged, sort of my age, our age, and they buy some of these. I needed to have my thing on there. Doesn't want to go through there. So yeah, they buy vintage Victorian costumes, and they're amazing, absolutely amazing. David and I used to, because when we came out of the gallery and closed the gallery, the art gallery, we just did some, we took our bar license and did the festivals, because they have a lot of festivals going on at the pavilion in Whitby. So we used to go and do well, we used to actually supervise the bar for the agency, because they've got 7 bars on actually in the pavilion for Goth Fest. And we did, you know, we loved it. Money was rubbish, but we just did it because we loved it. See everybody's costumes and you know, everything that was going on. I don't think it likes, see what I mean. Some of it it'll go through and others it doesn't tend to like that. Let me put another couple of pins in. But yes, if you're ever if you're not in the UK, or people that are in the UK and they've never been to Whitby, it's well worth a visit. When we get back to being able to visit places, it is somewhere worth visiting. It's very interesting, very steeped, you know, if you love your history, it's very steeped in history. And as I say, if you like your books and you like anything Gothic, then I think Whitby itself runs dry of beer in October when it's Goth Fest. And then in, I think about Easter time, March, April, they now do a steampunk. They've split it out because a lot of people are interested in dressing up and doing, you know, in the steampunk way. And slightly different really to Gothic, but similar theme. So they do a big, ooh, my fingers are going to hurt, aren't they, end of this. Yeah, they do another festival. They have all sorts. They have 70s music on, and you know, and they have a big ABBA, the big ABBA thing, you know, well, not the real ABBA, you know, but sing-alike is. It was good fun. We enjoyed it before, you know, before obviously, since David got this chronic heart problem, can't do it now. I mean, when you think just like 3 years ago, you know, throwing these great big barrels around and sorting all the bars out and things, we just enjoy. It's not something that we'd ever done before, because obviously me being in nursing and David being a civil engineer, and then we had the gallery. But some friends of ours took a pub on the seafront over, and it needed a bit of tarting up, a bit of doing up really. And David, you know, we sort of, I'd got quite a lot of work on at that time, but David helped them sort of do some painting and stuff like that. And then opening day, all the beer hadn't been, well, there was a little bit of beer, but a lot of the stuff hadn't been delivered. So they had to go off in search of trying to find it all and sort stuff out. So they left us to. I mean, David had got experience, because I think he used to do the bar at the cricket club when he used to teach cricket. And but I hadn't. I'd never pulled a pint in my life. And middle of a busy season. And yeah, they left us to it. And you know, I loved it. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Oh, we've got Nelson. I think it's posty time. It's got worse as he's got older, you know. He never used to mind post it. And if he sees him out, he's all excited and all wagging his tail and jumping about. And if you were to open the door, you know, he's all giddy and fussy. But goodness me, he doesn't half bark at him when he's coming up the drive. We've got a little thing on the door now, says a cockapoo lives here, because he, you know, he's quite a deep bark. I didn't think it was a great big he's only doing his job, isn't he, really? That's his job, to bark when strange people are coming near the house. I don't think we've got any post today. Shut up. Nelson! 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 Hello, baby. Are you letting me know the postman's here? Eh? What are you doing? Go and fetch Bentley. It's got this little dog called Bentley. You don't know it's called Bentley, only yours. So, I hope this is all right with you guys, that while we're sewing along I'm chatting about our lives. I mean, you know, I'm not doing much showing of how to do stuff on Tuesdays at the moment, but yeah, one more square left, and I've got a few ideas what I want to do into the new year for sew along the Tuesday sewing. I also, if you were interested, was going to do some different things on background for stitch. So different backgrounds you can prepare so that you can stitch on it, round it, or whatever, if you'd like that. See, this looks gorgeous. I really, whoops, my pins come out. I really like how it looks, but it's I wouldn't want to do too much of it. It's hurts your fingers. So a couple more stitches, and then I think we'll go on to something else, because I want to do some pistol stitch coming out of this. That was a mistake putting that there. Stab your finger. I've got really small fingers and thin wrists, so normal thimbles don't. And perhaps I've got a small silver one somewhere I don't know where I've put it actually, but I perhaps could do with some of them that you can put stick on. I think there's like some stick on thimbles, which you can use. It doesn't matter what. Can you see? It's a bit. I'm going to retreat. Sometimes it depends how you're coming through the weave, doesn't it? See what I mean? It's not pleasant stitching with this. I'm just going to finish it off now. Doesn't help because having the wadding on. Right. I'm going to leave that little bit there. That looks nice. So I hope you're getting on nicely with your slow stitching squares. I think most of you are happy we've got I Can't Count, and we've got another one left. But that's just about right, really. We timed that, 8 weeks we've been doing this. Time flies, doesn't it? But it'll just take us nicely to December dailies. Right, I'm going to do a bit of pistol stitch. I think we'll have some normal. Yeah, normal thread, and we'll split it. We'll split it up into, this is just some ordinary DMC. So you'll notice my scissors have been, I give them a clean off with nail varnish remover to get all the sticky off, and then sharpened them because they were rubbish. They were rubbish, weren't they, last week? Okay. I'll split that into 3. You can never thread it either, can you, when you're filming? Oops. So those of you that are getting ready for Thanksgiving, I hope you're managing to get the things you need, you know, because I suppose depends what area of the States you're from and how significant your restrictions are to, you know, to what you can where you can go and what you can get. I think it's lovely, lovely idea. I think it just takes the pressure off. I mean, not everybody celebrates Christmas, do they? You know, different religions. I think it's Diwali at the moment that Hindu and Sikh religions follow, and so I think the Thanksgiving is a lovely idea, because, you know, for those relatives that perhaps don't celebrate Christmas, but you can get, you know, you can all come together at Thanksgiving and, you know, and have some family and friend time together is great. And those that do celebrate Christmas, I think, you know, it sort of perhaps must take a little bit of the strain out of Christmas. Trying, you know, Christmas is a stressful time, I think. Trying to do best by everybody. Trying to... Right, so pistol stitch, you just come up, you take your thread to where you want to be, and then we're doing a French knot at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then take your wool down, take your needle as far as you can and pull it through. And we're not seeing, but just like a, you know, a normal day for us, I suppose, because like I say, all our family don't live close, and we can just, it's just an excuse for a massive party when we are let loose, won't it? I've still got my 60th to celebrate yet. You know, you're not 60 until you have your 60th birthday, and I didn't have it this year because of things. So yes, I can't be 60. Okay. And I'm just going to put one more in, and then I'm going to do some French knots round the middle. 5. Okay. There we go. Just going to tie this off now. I fancy something a bit bright for that middle. I wonder if we've got something like orange. I think I've got some orange in here. Oh, that'd be nice, I think. Yeah, we'll have a bit of, we could have orange, or we could have pink, because we have got pink there. No, I would have liked orange, but I think we'll have some of this pink. This is crikey, I mean, I don't know how long I've had some of this thread. Are you like me? Do you collect stuff? Do you collect threads and things? It, you know, if you go anywhere and they've got some nice thread or nice fabric, you can't always help yourself, can you? I've spent more money since we've been on lockdown on craft things and what have you, because you've got to, you know, you've got to have plenty of choices, haven't you, as Rachel says. I'm thinking, oh, I'm starting to sound like Rachel. Bless her. I love her. She's great. But you've got to have choices. There's no point, is there, in crafting if you can't have choices. These are all doing it in ones. That'll do. It's a bit like a variegated thread, I think, this. Look, it looks quite pink there and quite burgundy there. Yeah. So I will do this, and then probably it's end of video time. Surprising how quick these video time lasts. Soon goes quickly. Right, okie dokie. So, I mean, sometimes it takes a lot, but this is... I think they do look effective when you put plenty in. So you know what I'm going to be doing tonight, watching The Crown, don't you? I'm looking forward to having a few days off. And get myself organised. We're getting some lovely suggestions coming in for December dailies for the prompts, so keep them coming, guys. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be for us, you know, because what we've decided as a family, I don't like it there, it's too far in. What we've decided as a family is, because, you know, all the kids have been under a lot of pressure and furlough, not having the full wages and things like that. So as a whole family, we've decided we're not doing presents this Christmas, and saving and having a big, you know, if we're allowed next summer, you know, if we're allowed all of us to meet up, we're going to have a nice family party next summer, and probably do gifts and things then. And you know what, it just takes the pressure off. It's quite nice. So yeah, so that's why you'll have us every day. That's why we're doing December daily this year, because we haven't got to go shopping and we haven't got anything special going on. And there's not you know, nice theatre things happening and concerts, which David and I would normally go to, you know, and lovely church carol concerts and things. We're not having any of that, so that's why we're sort of happy to do December dailies, you know, do a video a day hopefully. And but by next summer, if they let us out, and you know, I think a lot of us will be taking advantage, won't we, of we're wanting to sit at home crafting when we're being let loose after 18 months or whatever it feels like. 18 months. Sorry, I'm talking about the convids again. I don't mean to. I can't help it sometimes, because I try to be cheerful for you guys, but it's hard some days. See, now they're not very, they don't stand out unless you do loads and loads and loads. So yeah, I'm going to really do quite a lot in there. So I'll probably get to the end of this bit of thread, and that's probably our time up. And then I've still got my I'm doing a bit more work on my Renaissance. I'm really enjoying doing this Renaissance journaling. It's not very often I do a great big journal with 3 signatures in, and you know, I'm enjoying it. Do you think it's time to call it a day while I can't do this threading? That's probably trying to tell me that it's, yeah. Those arthritis gloves, by the way. Well, I can't say that I've noticed any difference, and you have to keep taking them off to wash your hands and things. I think I do prefer the more stiff strapping you can have. You know, sometimes what they put on for carpal tunnel. If you've got carpal tunnel, they make my hands feel better. So putting them on if I'm, you know, tend to be doing any, like if I'm doing this sewing, watching TV, then I'll put them on. Those others, I've got to give them a bit more time. But actually, I feel as if they're concentrating the pain more in one area, you know, and probably that's where it does. Hopefully, it concentrates the pain in one area and then it goes. I don't know. So I'll try them for a bit longer. I've not given them long enough yet, have I? But I do like the stiff wrist supports that you get for doing, you know, when I'm doing stitching like this after a bit. Anyway, nice to have your company. Thank you for sitting over there on the sofa and sitting and sewing with me. And having a good old natter. Let me know what you've been up to this week, and if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, let me know what sort of plans and things you've got in place, what you're going to be doing. So thank you as always for joining me. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Don't forget we've got 20% off quite a few items in the Etsy shop for Black Friday, and the items that we've reduced, we haven't put an end date on it, have we, at the moment, David? So but there won't be, you know, I don't think they'll be there for long. There's quite a few things already gone. So yeah, once you've sorted out everything you're doing this week, go and take a look at the shop, and I'll see you on Monday. If you want to take part, gather some papers and things to do a collage with, to do a collage of what you'd like to celebrate, what you're grateful for, and want to celebrate. There's been a lot of things that aren't good about 2020, but I'm sure there's a bit of something we can all be grateful for, and it'll be lovely to do the collage on Monday. So join me for that, and then December dailies start next Tuesday. Okay, my lovelies, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.